What's going on, Motorhead fans out there? Good morning to you all. We're back here today doing a mobile service oil change on a 2012 Ford Escape V6. Like I said, we're just going to be doing an oil change and inspecting the brakes. Of course, we're going to be using OEM Ford Motorocraft. It is a Ford vehicle, so we like to stick with OEM products, keep it within manufacturer's warranty. So if you guys stay tuned, give you a couple of tips and tricks on doing some simple oil change stuff. Stay tuned. So now that we got the engine up to operating temp, basically just let it run for about 15-20 minutes. One of the first things to check before you actually start draining the oil is making sure that you can actually remove the cap to fill it. There's nothing worse than draining the oil and then not being able to fill up the oil after. So make sure you check the cap, that you can remove that first. The other thing I like to do is I drain the engine oil first. And then when you remove the oil filter, there's a little bit less oil. One of the other things I like to do is inspect the drain plug. Make sure there's no cross threading, no extra debris on it. You're also checking to make sure that this nice O-ring is nice and clean. I'll always wipe it off before I replace it. And as well as just keeping an eye on the oil, making sure your pan is in a nice, good place. And we'll just let that keep draining. One of the things I like to inspect is the surface of where the oil filter mounts to. So while you have it off, it's easy enough to just get a rag and wipe that surface off so that the new oil filter has a nice mating surface. And also clean the runoff oil that you spill. Once you wipe down the filter surface, mounting surface, you've cleaned off all the area, you are ready to prepare the new oil filter. So this is the new oil filter. Of course, we're going to go with the Ford Motorocraft oil filter FL500. One of the things I like to do before, especially on a application where the filter goes up into the engine, I always like to take a little of the oil. Here we go, CE5W30. Just top it off a little bit. Put a little bit around the ring, dab your finger, and lube up the gasket. This is what's going to be on that mating surface, so it's nice to have nice lubricated. It just helps for a better seal, as well as when you're tightening it, it doesn't snag the gasket or deform it in any way. This keeps for a nice smooth installation of the filter. So now once your oil change is finished, there's always some residual oil that either tracks back onto the pan. So I like to take some sort of cleaner. In this case, I'm going to be using Bright Clean. So basically just clean the oil pan. This will also help in the future for you to identify any oil leaks, if there's any other possible issues you're having. So I just like to go and spray down the pan and just give it a good wipe of any residual oil, and it just keeps for everything looking nice and clean. Now we're back to topside. Basically we can start filling up the oil. This vehicle calls for 5.5 quarts. What is that in liters? I think it's maybe 5.78. So I'll just take my little connectors here. And first we're going to go with the 5, start it, check it, and then I have the extra 1 quart. gotta improvise. A bit further than expected. Start up, everything sounds good. Inspect underneath. Everything's good and dry. Oil filter, no leaks. Now we can shut the engine off again and inspect oil level. A little bit low, just that about. All right, motor head fans. We just finished doing oil change and inspection. Only other things I noticed is I had to top off the coolant level, and I also recommended to replace the air filter, the tires as well. Have a little scalping on them, but other than that, the vehicle is all set, ready to go.